geometry and coordinate system specifically. We are discussing different formulas and the logics related to the coordinate system. Specifically in the previous class, as 8th point, we discussed about this section division formula. See, section division formula. M is to n internally, M is to n externally. See, what is the section division formula, what is that internal division and what is that external division? All those things we discussed in the previous class. For suppose, if we have 2 points A and B, if we have a line segment or if we have 2 points AB on a line, then a point P which is dividing the line segment AB, if in the ratio M is to n, then the coordinates of P can be determined by this particular rule, that mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n and m by 2 plus n by 1 by m plus n. Since P is dividing AB internally in the ratio m is to n, we call that division is internal division and we use this particular formula. Whereas in the case, if here it is AB and P is a point, or you may say Q is a point exterior of that line segment AB, but still the ratio between this QA and QB is in the ratio m is to n. So here we say that the division is external division with the ratio m is to n. In this case we use this as the coordinates of Q, mx2 minus nx1 by m minus n, m by 2 minus n by 1 by m minus n. Okay, and we mentioned you different these two formulas along with simple examples also in the previous class. Okay, if you have any confusion or doubt related to this, just revise that previous class. Okay, and also we mentioned that if the ratio is given in the problem, or if you find the ratio, if you know the ratio, if the ratio is positive, then we need to thought that the division is internal. If the ratio is negative, which indicates that the division is external. Actually, there is no positive ratio and there is no negative ratio. Okay, we have ratio, but if minus sign is used before the ratio as a notation, that negative sign before the ratio indicates that the division as external. All these things we discussed in the previous class. And once again I am repeating you that 8th point is helpful to find the coordinates of P. Okay, A is given, B is given, ratio is given, we need to find the point. Okay, and now in 9th point we need to find the ratio if P is given. Okay, in 8th point what are the given things? Given A, B ratio. A x1 by 1 is given, B x2 by 2 is given, ratio m is to n is given, then we need to find P. This is 8th point. Now what I am going to tell you is 9th point. For this 9th point, what are the given things? The given values are A, the point x1 by 1, B, another endpoint of line segment x2 by 2, and P is also given on line segment AB. Then we need to find the ratio. Okay, that's what we need to discuss. A, B and P are given, we need to find the ratio. Okay, just have a look. If this is the line segment, A, x1, y1 is given, B, x2, y2 is given, and on this line segment AB, somewhere there is a point, you may say it as P, and the coordinates of P are given as x comma y. A is given, B is given, P is given, but we don't know the ratio. That ratio we need to find. Okay, so then that ratio is determined by the rule. Initially, since we don't know the ratio, you just take that ratio as some m is to n, use section division formula, you will get a point in terms of mn, equalize it to the given point, you will get m by n. Okay, just I am mentioning here the formula that m by n is nothing but, the ratio is simply nothing but, see, x1 minus x divided by x minus x2. Just look there. Difference between these two x coordinates and then these two x coordinates ratio. Or this is again equals to y1 minus y divided by y minus y2. At that, this is the formula for the ratio. Okay. So, finding point if ratio given, that is section division formula. Finding ratio if point is given, that's another version of section division formula, and we mentioned it as 9th point. Okay. Just have a look. At the end, what I conclude you is, in that ninth point, okay, if A x1 y1 is given, B x2 y2 is given, P x comma y is given, ratio in which P divides AB, ratio in which P divides AB is x1 minus x divided by x minus x2, or y1 minus y divided by y minus y2. You just go with x coordinates, or you may go with y coordinates, no problem. You will get same ratio in both the cases. And after finding that ratio, as we mentioned in the previous point, if you have that ratio as positive, you need to think that P is internal to the line segment. If that ratio is negative, you need to think that that point is the external of the line segment. For suppose, for an example I am discussing here, for example I have a point 3 comma minus 7, and B is what I need to take, minus 4 comma 0, and P is the point, okay. It may be anywhere actually, minus 5 comma 1. A is given, B is given, and P is given. Now our task is to find the ratio. Ratio is equal to. So as per our formula, you can go with either x coordinates or you may go with y coordinates. In both the cases, we will get same answer. First of all, I will discuss with x coordinates. Okay. The rule is what? x1 minus x divided by x minus x2. Okay. Or yeah, what are x1 and what are y1 like that? Okay. This A is simply x1 y1 as I mentioned here. B is x2 y2 as I mentioned here. This P is x comma y. Now the ratio with this formula is x1 is simply what? 3 minus x is 5. x1 is 3, x is 5 divided by that x is minus 5 minus x2 is minus 4. Just look there. x1, x2, x, x1, x2, x. So 3 minus of minus 5 divided by minus 5 minus of minus 4. This is 8. And what is this? Minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. So this is 8 and this is minus 1. So you will get that the ratio as minus 8 by 1, or you may use minus of 8 is to 1. That indicates that the point P is external since the ratio is negative. Okay. Now I solve with the based on x coordinate. For suppose if you wish to move with y coordinates, now the rule is what? y1 minus y divided by y minus y2. So what is y1? y1 is what? Minus 7 minus y. What is y? Y is 1 divided by again y. 1 minus what is y2? 0. Now still you have that minus 8 by 1 as your answer. So that in the sense, each time no need to use both the formulas. You may go with this x coordinates or you may go with the y coordinates. At the end you will get the ratio as like this, and since the ratio here it is representing a negative 1, it means this P is outside of that line segment AB. Okay, and the distance from P to A, if it is 8 parts, then the distance from P to B is of 1 part. Okay, so this is the way of using the ratio, right? Just have a look. And then there are some problems, okay, and the problems may be like this. I will discuss with you. Just have a look. Yeah. Ratio in which x-axis, ratio in which x-axis divides line segment AB is, see, as we discussed, P is the point which is dividing line segment AB. But here the question is saying that x-axis is dividing the line segment AB. X-axis, so x-axis is dividing the line segment AB means for this, the diagram may be like this, okay. For suppose if this is the line segment AB and x-axis, maybe this is x-axis. So this x-axis is dividing line segment AB in a particular ratio. Okay, this length divided by this length. To find that particular ratio, you need to think about this point. If you think about this particular point, that point is there on x-axis, so its y coordinate is 0. Since its y coordinate is 0, so y value is 0, so use this second formula. From there you will get that your answer as y1 minus 0 divided by 0 minus y2. On simplification you will get minus y1 is to y2. So ratio in which x-axis divides AB is minus y1 is to y2, whereas ratio in which y-axis divides is minus x1 is to x2. Okay, this ratio formula is helpful to find the ratio in which x-axis divides AB as well as to find the ratio in which y-axis divides AB. For suppose again I will give you one example. Find the ratio in which y-axis divides the line segment joining. Okay, the problem will be like this. Just have a look. Find the ratio in which y-axis divides A some minus 3 comma 7 and B minus 5 comma 9. Find the ratio in which y-axis divides the line segment joining A and B. Okay, so we need to find the ratio. What is the ratio now? Since I mentioned you it as y-axis, your answer is just simply minus x1 is to x2 minus x1 by x2, and that is equals to minus of x1 means x coordinate of the first point, which is minus 3, and x2 is what? The x coordinate of the second point, which is minus 5. So at the end these two minuses will get cancelled. You left with minus 3 by 5, that in the sense minus 3 is to 5 is the ratio. Is it clear? Okay, see, the ratio may be positive or may be negative, it depends upon the points, right? If these are the points, this is the ratio. For suppose if they mention that A 3 comma 7 and B minus 5 comma 9, then what will happen? You need to take 3 in the place of x1. Then in that case minus of minus will get cancelled, you will get your answer as 3 is to 5. Is it right? It depends on the point, you will get either positive or negative ratio. Okay, so finding ratio is very simple. Okay, so if you know 3 points, use this as your formula. If you know that the dividing point is on x-axis or on y-axis, then you may use any one of these two formulas. That's it. Have a look. Midpoint of a line segment. For suppose if you have a line segment, see A, x1, y1 and B is x2, y2, and the midpoint of this line segment AB is simply a point on the line segment AB which is dividing AB in the ratio 1 is to 1. Since it is midpoint, it divides the line segment into two equal parts. Okay, so here it is very clear that AM is equals to MB, and the ratio, since it is given as 1 is to 1, then if you use section division formula, mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, my2 plus ny1 by m plus n, here m is 1, n is 1, mx2 1 into x2, okay, plus nx1 1 into x1 divided by m plus n, 1 plus 1, it is 2, and again m by 2 plus n by 1 by m plus n, so 1 into y2 plus 1 into y1 divided by 1 plus 1, it is 2. So at the end, since AM is equals to MB, since M is midpoint of AB, that midpoint is derived, midpoint can be observed with the particular formula x2 plus x1 by 2 comma y2 plus y1 by 2. Very simple, right? x2 plus x1 or x1 plus x2, no problem, right? So where we use this midpoint concept? We use this midpoint concept in different situations according to the problem. For suppose there are some problems, okay? Yeah, I will just give you some examples. So one of the example is I have a circle. What I have? I have a circle. And related to the circle, see, the center is given like minus 1 comma 2. Whereas, see, one end of the diameter is given as 0 comma minus 3. And they are asking us to find this other end of the diameter. Just have a look. Center of the circle is given as minus 1 comma 2. One end of the diameter is 0 comma minus 3, and the other end you need to find. Okay, very basic simple problem. Okay, just to introduce the midpoint formula, I am just mentioning here it is. Okay, but if you observe the books, the problem may be in literal format. One end of the diameter is 0 comma minus 3 and the midpoint is center of the circle is minus 1 comma 2. We need to find the other end. Since we don't know this other end, you just let that other end of the circle as other end of the diameter of the circle as alpha comma beta. You just let it. You just let it like alpha comma beta. And now see, if you look for this alpha beta and for this point 0 comma minus 3, this minus 1 comma 2 is a midpoint. Since that minus 1 comma 2 is a midpoint for these two, use midpoint formula for this and points of the diameter. Okay. So as per that midpoint formula, 0 plus alpha by 2 is the x coordinate, minus 3 plus beta by 2 is the y coordinate. And the midpoint of these two ends of the diameter is simply the center, which is minus 1 comma 2. So this is midpoint and that is center. This midpoint of diameter is the center. Equalize the coordinates, you will get alpha is equals to minus 2. This x coordinate with this minus 1, alpha is minus 2. This y coordinate with this y, okay, beta, 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is equals to 7. At the end, minus 2 comma 7 is what? Other end of the diameter of a circle. So using midpoint, we will solve these type of simple problems. And we have one more aspect related to this midpoint. Okay, I will erase this. Yeah. The other thing is simply finding missing fourth vertex of a parallelogram. Okay. Using midpoint, we will have another useful one. Fourth vertex of a parallelogram. Fourth vertex of a parallelogram if three vertices are given. Okay, you just think about it. If you have a parallelogram, parallelogram in the sense, I think you all know. See, the opposite sides are parallel as well as equal. If one vertex of the parallelogram is given as x1, y1 and other vertex is x2, y2 and one more vertex is x3, y3, and you need to find this fourth vertex. Okay. If these three vertices x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 are taken in an order, if these three are following an order, then we need to find the fourth vertex. Okay. See, you need to pay attention on the word an order, right? If these three vertices, what are these three vertices? A, B, C are in an order, then we need to find this D. So as we discussed in the previous situation, since you don't know D, take it as alpha comma beta. By taking it as alpha comma beta, use midpoint formula. What is that? For a parallelogram, midpoint of BD is equals to midpoint of AC. Here it is very clear that midpoint of AC is equals to midpoint of BD. Okay. By using this particular logic for these four, you will get that fourth vertex D, okay, as like this. Just I am mentioning directly the coordinates. Using that midpoint formula, you will get a D as x2 plus x3 minus x1 comma y2 plus y3 minus y1. What it is? See, right. Sorry, it's simple wrong. Okay, x1 plus x3. x1 plus x3 minus x2 y1 plus y3 minus y2. Okay, so you just find midpoint for these two as well. Find midpoint for these two, equalize. You will get this fourth vertex of the parallelogram as that. What is that? x1 plus x3 minus x2 comma y1 plus y3 minus y2. Okay, two ways to solve. Two ways in the sense, see, one way is directly use midpoint formula. Other way is directly memorize this one. What is this one? Add the nearest points. See, for this D, C is somewhat nearer and A is somewhat nearer, but B is very somewhat farther away, right? And that's why add this x1 and x3 and then subtract x2. For y coordinate, add this y1 and y3 and then subtract its opposite vertex y2. So, with the help of midpoint concept, we can find the fourth vertex of a parallelogram in this way. Okay, this is something about the midpoint. Basically, midpoint of the line segment is simply x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. We use the idea of midpoint in many situations, but just I mentioned two situations. Okay, one related to the circle, center and diameter, other one related to the fourth vertex of the parallelogram. Okay, have a look. Trisection points. Okay, so before we mentioned about midpoint, now it is turn of trisection points. Trisection points in the sense, if we have any 2 points which divides the line segment into 3 equal parts, okay, like P and Q. Here if you observe, AP is equals to PQ is equals to QB. Basically we have the line segment AB, okay, line segment A and B. AB. On this point we need to locate 2 points PQ such that, okay, if you locate 2 points PQ such that AP is equals to PQ is equals to QB, then we call those 2 points as trisection points, and in particularly this P is called first trisection point of AB. Identify the word. First trisection point of AB. From A to B, this is the first point, right? First trisection point of AB. And this Q is the second trisection point of AB. Whereas if you mention instead of AB, if you mention BA, then this Q will become the first trisection point of BA and this P will become the second trisection point of BA. These two are trisection points. With respect to AB or with respect to BA, we will call them as first and second. Okay. See, these two are equal at that. Since these two are equal, the ratio if you mention AP is to PQ is to QB is equals to 1 is to 1 is to 1. And when you pay attention on this P is dividing the total line segment into the ratio 1 is to 2. Okay, this part is 1 and this part is 2. Whereas when you pay attention on this Q is dividing the line segment into 2 is to 1. For first trisection point, the ratio is 1 is to 2, and for second trisection point, the ratio is 2 is to 1. Okay, and there are many observations you can get from this. Yeah, another observation is that what is for this line segment AB, PQ are the trisection points and the ratio is 1 is to 1 is to 1. These two parts are equal, so P is midpoint of AQ. Q is midpoint of PB. Okay, so here P is equals to midpoint of AQ and Q is equals to midpoint of PB. Okay, and one more observation is, for suppose if you locate the midpoint of PQ, midpoint of the trisection points, so which is exactly in middle of this PQ, right? That same point will act like midpoint for AB. Just observe it, very obvious thing, right? So midpoint of PQ is equals to midpoint of AB. And coming to the lengths, as I mentioned, these two parts are equal. Since these two parts are equal, each part is equals to the 1/3 of AB. AP is equals to PQ is equals to QB is equals to 1/3 of the total length AB. Okay. So this is something about the trisection points. For suppose if you have AX1 y1, BX2 y2, then what you say about the points P and Q? That what also we need to mention. First of all, have a look. Trisection points. Trisection points are 2 points which divide the line segment into 3 equal parts. Those 2 points are mentioned as the trisection points. With respect to AB, this is first and that is second. With respect to BA, that is first and this is second. For first trisection point of AB, the ratio is 1 is to 2. For second trisection point of AB, the ratio is 2 is to 1. Have a look. Now, if A and B are given, then what are the values of PQ? Okay, AX1 y1 and BX2 y2. If this AX1 y1 and PX2 y2 are given, then what you say about P? Then P is equals to Since P is dividing this AB in the ratio 1:2, using section division formula, yeah, this is x1 y1 now, this is x2 y2. As I mentioned you in the previous class, you need to grow classwise. This 1 into x2, this 2 into x1. So x2 plus 2x1 divided by m plus n, 1 plus 2 is 3, comma y2 plus 2y1 divided by 1 plus 2 is 3. So at that, this is the first trisection point of ax1 y1 and bx2 y2. Whereas if you wish to identify q, here the ratio is 2:1. Again go classwise. 2 into x2, 1 into x1. So you may write it like this. 2 into x2 plus 1 x1 divided by 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 into y2 plus y1 divided by 3. So these two are the trisection points of AB. Okay? Have a look. So next one, extension of the idea. That in the sense, already we discussed about the section division formula, midpoint, trisection point, and we are extending the idea. For suppose I have the line segment AB, just I mentioned you the coordinates, right? And there are 30 points on this line segment AB. Okay, 30 points on this line segment AB, P1, P2 and so on, P30 on AB, such that, actually I need to mention, I forgot to mention that. See, these 30 points are there such that at equi-spaces between them. At equi-spaces between them. Okay. The space between all those points is same. Okay. Since the space between all those points is same, that in the sense these 30 points are going to divide the total line segment AB into 31 equal parts. As they mentioned, we are arranging all these points with equi-spaces between them in order. Okay. We need to find P19. See, the word arranging all these points with equi-spaces between them in order just indicates that A, P1 is equals to P1, P2 is equals to P2, P3 is equals to like that. That in the sense we need to indicate the point somewhere P1 here and next P2 and next P3. Like that if you indicate, before that B you will get P30. And somewhere in between we have P19 also. All these parts are of equal length. That's what they mentioned. Okay, all these parts of equal length. They have equi-spaces between them and we need to arrange the points in the order. So in such a case we need to find P19. Right? Since all those points are in an order on the line segment AB with equi-spaces between them, you just think about it. Total how many parts are there? How many points are there? 30 points. How many parts are there? 31 parts. A simple logic. If you have one, if you have, this is the line segment. If you have one point, it is dividing into two parts. Whereas this is the line segment. If we have 2 points, it is dividing into 3 parts. But here we have 30 points. So it is dividing the total line segment into how many parts? 31 parts. So it is dividing into 31 parts. Right. So we need to find this P19. So how many parts are there from P19 to B? How many parts are there? Some P19 to A. That's what we need to think. A to P1, 1 part. A to P2, 2 parts. A to P3, there are 3 parts. So A to P19, there are totally 19 parts. Okay, total number of parts are 31. Since from A to P19 there are 19 parts, then from P19 to B, how many parts will be there? See, total 31 as I mentioned, then it will be 12 parts. So, see, if you pay attention on this P19, it is dividing the line segment AB in the ratio 19:12. Since it is dividing in the ratio 19:12, so to find P19, see, you need to move in a classwise. 19 tens are mx2, 19 into 10 plus nx1, 12 into minus 3, divided by m plus n, 19 plus 12, comma, m by 2, 19 into minus 4, plus n by 1, 12 into 1, divided by 19 plus 12. So if you simplify, you will get it as P19. That's it. Okay. So this is the way of calculating P90. Have a look. And that's for today's class. From there we will continue the next class, different formulas.